Hi guys, how are you all today night? Good evening. In this verse of Ashtavakra Gita, Raja Janaka tells Ashtavakra, there is a triad. Triad means three-forked weapon or a three-forked thing. One fork is knowable, second is knowledge, and third is knower. That means that there is something which is knowable, and that is called knowledge. And one who knows about this or who has the knowledge is the knower. Raja Janaka says, because I identify with myself and not with my mind body complex, so in me the knowable, the knowledge, and the knower blend together and become one. What does this mean? Knowable is the knowledge of the self. Knowledge is the knowledge of the self. And knower is one who has the knowledge of the self. In all three cases, knowledge of the self is the most important. As long as a living entity identifies himself or herself with the mind body complex, this triad exists, that of knowable, knowledge, and knower. But the moment the living entity begins identifying himself or herself with his or her true self as his or her real ego, then knower, knowledge, and knowable, all three become one. The knower is one who is identifying himself or herself with the self. The knowledge of this self is what is knowable. Hence, because this person becomes the self, and so the three-forked trident does not exist. All have become one. That is what Raja Janaka tells Ashtavakra. We must take a lesson from this. Once we identify ourselves with ourself as our real ego, then there is nothing that remains to be learnt. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has declared, when a living entity identifies himself or herself with the self, when he or she gets the knowledge of the self through Jnana Yoga, then all the karma or destiny that this living entity had stored for so long burns into ashes. Nothing remains. It's only the self. When a living entity becomes the self, He or she does not exist as he or she. There is no sex involved. There is no intelligence, mind, feelings, emotions, senses, sense organs, and the like. There is only self. And in that case, this living entity becomes just a mute witness of what he and his other living entities in the mind body complex act in or think or have their ideas, etc. He or she who knows his or her self as the real entity does not get affected by any action, karma, or destiny. Kindly tell me what you think of my talk on this subject. If you sincerely believe that what I said makes sense, kindly subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that I can keep reminding you of my other videos, those from the past and those from the future. Please feel free to interact with me and give me your doubts, ideas, thoughts, opinion, etc., so that we all brainstorm together and solve each other's problems in a minuscule way, at least, as a service to humanity. As servants of God, we owe at least this much to the society. Please pardon me for my errors, mistakes, and blunders in appearance, spelling, grammar, diction, etc. Because when I am talking to you on serious spiritual and material matters, I tend to ignore these frivolous things. Till we meet in my next video, it is good night from TSV Raghavan.